Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be showing you how to transform this channel into a cooking channel and create the famous Indomie and prawn recipe. But hang on a second, this is the end result. I don't know how we ended up here, but let's go back to the beginning. I mean, the beninging. So here we are. Of course, we've got our famous Indomie chicken flavored noodles. If you have not eaten these, it's probably because you were born in the royal family. And here we have our Morrison's olive oil. Don't worry about the floaters inside there. It's just frozen olive oil. It's because we do not have the heating turned on in the house. Our landlord does not like that. And we've got our garlic powder and we've got our chili powder as usual. Just very basic, simple stuff. And I'm kind of running low on herbs. And as you can see, I've stored these in a honey jar. We've got our sea salt and we've got our cold water prawns as standard. And of course, these are frozen. So I've just taken them out of the freezer, or rather just left them out because it's pretty cold in the house. But anyway, and of course, you've got your standard frying pan and a small spatula, nothing too fancy. And let's get started. All right, so you want to turn on the gas right there and you put your pan on top of the gas. I think that's where that is supposed to be. And of course, while that is heating up, the other thing that you need to do and prepare for is just putting your Indomie noodles right into your bowl. So yeah, you just, open the packet up, pretty standard stuff, put it inside the bowl, and do that with the second packet. Now, obviously, you might not want to have two packets, but if you're like super hungry and you just don't have the energy to cook something, this is a very quick recipe. Everyone knows this. I'm just adding a small, my own touch, I guess you can say, to the recipe. All right, so the spices, we're going to obviously use these later, and I'll show you when to use them. So that's what they basically just look like, the standard bumbu sauce or whatever they're called. All right, so the frying pan has gotten hot at this point, and so the next step, what we want to do is just add a little bit of olive oil onto this pan right here. We don't want too much, we just want a little bit just to coat the floor and let that heat up for a bit. All right, we're going to go ahead and just dump our prawns right into that hot olive oil. So obviously just, crush them up a little bit, turn the heat down a little bit, and keep stirring so that they don't stick to the pan and don't burn, obviously. And just break them up a little bit. Now, the thing with prawns is they shrink very quickly. So, yeah. Okay, so we're going to start off by putting a little bit of salt. Just a small pinch. You don't want it too salty because remember, we've got that special Indomie bumbu sauce that's coming in later on. We've got a little bit of herbs that's going on top of the prawns. Now, and of course, I think we're going to have a little bit of chili. That's a little bit of garlic powder. And a small pinch, a really tiny pinch of chili. And that's it. We're just going to mix this in. Now, obviously, because these prawns are frozen, there's going to be a little bit of water there, but that's perfectly fine. We just let that mix in with the olive oil. That water is going to evaporate eventually. But you just want to do this on a very low heat and just let it really mix in there with the olive oil. Just keep mixing this and keep stirring it on a very low heat. So that the olive oil and the spices are really well mixed into the prawns. Now, this is the perfect time to put some hot water into your noodles, of course, and let these sit for around a minute and a half and let them soften up, obviously. So the prawns are marinating now, and you can see the flavor and the color is really coming in. They're turning a little pink there. And everything is simmering really nice and slow. All right, so the next step, after leaving this to simmer for a few more minutes, you just come in and put your Indomie noodles right into that pan with your prawns. Now, you have noticed I did drain out the water from the noodles because I kind of like mine a little bit dry. I don't like them too watered down. And then, of course, you just top this up with your Indomie spices. And just, of course, sprinkle that on top. You can add a little bit of water if you need to. So just keep mixing that in, very nice and slow. Just keep mixing that in, just making sure that the olive oil and the prawn spices and everything from the Indomie spices are all mixing together really well on the pan. And of course, the heat needs to be very low. You don't want it to be too hot because all the water is just going to evaporate. And here I am just adding a little bit more water just to keep it a little bit damp, and that's it. You can see you don't want it too watered down. So you're just gonna let this. You're just gonna keep this on a low heat and just keep stirring this. Yeah, these are just one of those meals that you can prepare if you do not have time to cook. Maybe you're just tired from work, or you've just had a really long day and you just want something that you can just cook real quickly. And this is just the perfect dish. And that is how you end up here with your Indomie and prawn dish. It's just Indomie with a small touch of prawns. Very simple, very easy to make, tastes amazing. And that's about it, guys. I hope you like the channel. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.